All right. Welcome to Life Fit with DVD. Welcome back. Thanks for being here. Today, I wanted to talk about envisioning your future. And I just got finished with a meditation. This is around 45 minutes long. It was really good. Really good. I needed it. It was critical for my well being today because this morning was not very good. I was getting caught up with uh, just the news stories, social media, just thoughts that were coming from these things, really the emotions that were coming from reading these things, and then the thoughts, the subsequent thoughts uh, after them, and uh, it just got to the point. It was spiraling out of control because I'd go to focus on something else, and it was like my mind couldn't shut off the fears or just like envisioning a negative scenario playing out. And even though I was catching this happening, uh, I'd still, like I'd catch it, and then I would be like, okay, things are okay, right? We move on, and let's look at something else. Let's focus on something else, and it would continue. It would pop back up. So I'm like, I really need a meditation today to reset, just clear the mind, and get back into the present moment. So that's what I did. I got finished with all the critical tasks and all that stuff that I needed to do, um, and you know, so I got to the meditation and was finally able to just shut the mind off and relax for a bit. And there's all sorts of different meditation, but meditation partially is clearing the mind, right? Meditation means getting to know yourself. And I took that first half hour just to let go of all of these things. Like, they don't matter, right? These are things that I can't control. These are things that really don't make any immediate impact to my life. Um, and it's very important to be able to differentiate the things you can control from the things that you cannot control. Oftentimes we get worked up worrying about things that really don't affect our lives in any tangible way, at least in the immediate future, right? Um, but for other people, other parts of the world, there's things going on that affect them, on a very tangible, basic life sort of level. Food, water, shelter, that sort of thing. And here in the first world, if you want to call it that, we have many of our immediate needs taken care of still, for the most part. Just generalizing, but at the same time, you know, looking at all of this stuff, there's a lot going on in the world. And when there's this much going on, and we have this many stories, and this many emails and texts, and uh, so many tasks that we are being bombarded with, people trying to sell things, offer us, all sorts of stuff. Uh, it gets very exhausting for the mind. I talk a lot here about preserving your consciousness, preserving your attention, and taking care of it, right? Trying to focus on the things that you want to be letting into your life versus the things that you don't want to be letting in. Um, and really focusing on the things that you want to create. What do you want to create in the future? And in envisioning that, we need to get very focused on what we need to create. How does it look? How does it feel? What sort of story do we want to be telling about ourselves? What are all of the minute details to our lives, like our future life that we want to cultivate, that we can put into our consciousness and feel so that we're experiencing it as if it's real. And this is what meditation and visualization are great for, right? So I took the first half hour to relax, clear the mind of my meditation, and then the second half to focus on how do I want to feel in the future? What do I want to be cultivating? Act like you're having it in the now, that you're experiencing that future in the now, because if you are not, if you're letting yourself be defined by the past, right? That, everything up until this point of our lives, we've created, right? We have created it one way or another. We've created it, and we've created it with our thoughts and emotions around things and the associated habits, behaviors, all of the things that come from what we perceive as us, our identity in the now. Or, sorry, our identity in the past. But if we want to be somebody new, right? If we want to get rid of the past, right? We don't want to be defined by the past. We need to be defined by a vision of the future. This is something Joe Dispenza says all the time, and it just makes so much sense to me. Because ultimately, our mind and our emotions are generating what is happening in the now, right? What we're experiencing in the now. So if we can become so focused on the vision that we want to create, envisioning our future and experiencing it as if we already have it, we are then becoming what we want. And it's really not that mind-blowing of a thing. It's quite simple, really. Because I mean, if you just think about virtual reality, if you've ever put on an Oculus or just even played a video game or read a book, for that matter, we can put ourselves in these stories and imagine them. We can make the choices from them. When people are in a virtual reality, they often have the same brain states as if they were experiencing that thing or that situation in real life. It's literally the same brain pattern. The mind doesn't know the difference between the real and the imagined. And I think that's like a Matrix thing. The mind literally doesn't know the difference. So if we can put ourselves into a state of mind where we're experiencing the future as if we already have it, that we're already experiencing it, that is how amazing change can come into your life. And by doing this, if we want this, we have to focus. I can't be more clear about that, because and this is the thing for me. We have so many distractions. We have so many things we get caught up in, so many tasks, that we lose sight of our vision and we lose sight of the things that we want, and get sucked into some other narrative and some other external worry. And and I'm not saying that these aren't things that we should be concerned about. I mean, we do need to be aware of them, but envisioning our future and the steps and taking the time to meditate and like focus on it is really more important than any email, any news story, opening any social media, any text. I think I said email. It's more important than so many things in our life that like really don't make a difference. And it's just mind-blowing to me that just this concept is so simple, but all we have to do is focus on it and actually practice it. So meditation is one thing for envisioning the future, right? Typically when we meditate, we envision our future. We have visions, or just our imagination comes up with things that we can do to actually cultivate this, right? Steps that we can take, and you know, Joe Dispenza calls this inspired action. Um, you know, but these are things that really, they're ideas, right? That maybe, hey, this is the universe letting us know that this could be a good idea. Maybe this is a path that we should, entertain here. But of course, our conscious mind just shuts it down, says, "Oh, I don't have time for that. I don't have the money for that." There's just too much going on, right? We make excuses. We make excuses, and we do these things because we are addicted to habits and patterns, right? And when we move away from these things, when we start doing things that are new, that are moving into the void of the unknown, that makes it pretty uncomfortable for us, right? That makes it really unconscious, or it makes it very uncomfortable for our conscious mind to exist in that moment. Um, and it's hard to exist in that moment because it's unfamiliar, right? It's an unfamiliar emotion, it's an unfamiliar pattern, and because it is so different, right? It feels different from us, right? Like the body and the mind will reject it. However, if you focus on the thoughts and the feelings of having these things, experiencing these things to such a minute degree, right? We put our senses into our imagination, our conscious body will have less resistance to actually trying these things, um, actually existing in the void, and just being okay with that, right? Just putting things out there into the world that we haven't done before, and seeing what comes from it. But when we do these things, incredible incredible things can come from it. When we put ourselves out there in uncomfortable ways in the present moment, incredible things will come. Uh, and it's just, I don't know. It's so simple, yet at the same time, it's so hard to cultivate in just today's day and age. And I think on some level, it's designed to be that way. I think that there's entities or people out there that don't want human beings actually creating on a level uh, that will benefit them. I think they want us, humanity in general, to be caught in the narrative, caught in the web of distraction and the stories that they feed us. Because when they feed us their stories, we can't have time to create our own future. Um, so anyway, I think that's it for now. But when when I highlight these things, it all starts with us. It all starts with us being conscious of ourselves and knowing ourselves, right? This is why I have gotten into. So I have degrees in psychology. Well, I'm Myers Briggs trained, profiling trained, human design trained, and I love getting into these things to look at, these archetypes of who we are and these attributes that we have, and whatever cards that we are dealt in this life. I firmly believe that we are the creator to make the things happen, right? So when we do take action, we want to be taking action that's aligned with the things that we already are, right? Because often we get caught up doing things for others that are not what we should be doing, right? The energy is not aligned. So this is why I love getting into this stuff, getting into how we are, and ultimately funneling ourselves and our energy into the things that we want to generate. Because when we are heading the direction that we are biologically and genetically programmed to go, we are meant to be there. And when we are meant to be there, we can do great things. So if you are looking to, try to better yourself, envision your future better, knowing yourself better, let me know. I'd love to hear how you go about doing it yourself. If you want my help, I'd love to help you. Just let me know in the comments below. Um, at the same time, if you enjoyed this, like or subscribe. That would mean a tremendous amount to me. But just remember to be conscious of the things that you're putting in your mind and stay focused on the things that you want to create. And take that time for yourself, honor yourself, respect yourself enough to do it for the future you. All right, thanks. Talk to you later.